Now listen, as with what we are about to cover today, we are going to be taking a look at the ultimate breakup between the biggest loser in rap and then the biggest DoorDasher and keyboard warrior. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And now really, as with what just happened here, it is going to make these aggressive, angry, and annoying Lawbury stans way more mad at me. I am going to need the support, so leave that like. And now with that said, well, currently with the clash that we have just seen between the two biggest crash outs we have anywhere near the word rap music, well, the weight that this is going to hold going forward will change so much. And now, while as a culture in hip-hop, as the genre is moving forward with everything around Tyler the Creator and his new album, rap is about to take off like we have never seen before collectively, still within all of the fun that we are about to have with the huge moment that this will be. On the other side of things in this era, it's getting pretty bad for some people who have just made the wrong choices over and over again. And really, this is because now in this time in rap where the best MCs and carriers of the culture are rising, and then on the other side of this, the worst people you know are failing. Well, really, it looks like hip-hop is winning too much, and now as a result of this, these losers are just starting to really decay in a way that we could have never predicted even on their worst days. And so with this now, before Tyler the Creator creates a whole new wave of this potential golden age that we are on the horizon of seeing, we need to make sure that we all see what has went on here, which is now that with the Melting Man and rap's favorite DoorDasher's strange partnership, it is seemingly coming to an end, and everybody needs to know how bad it really got. As now within this time where classics are dropping and so many people's legacies are falling off the all-time list. Overall, as these two ideologies in hip-hop are just clashing more, and some people are winning from it and some are losing. Well, now seemingly what has created an entire new wave of losers that nobody could have even predicted all came from Nicki Minaj's crash out, which of course SZA, her manager, and TDE leader Punch, and then more of TDE got involved in and just pretty much packed her up and embarrassed her bad. And now while all of TDE ended up looking better than ever and Young Money just showed up, they have had one of the most disgraceful fall-offs in the history of not just rap but music. Well, the ripple effects from this showed a spiral to be even more out of control than we could have expected, as within all of the noise that actually mattered from this and what is going to affect people beyond them doing MTBTTFs, well, the person who seemingly got into this and just let us know how much of a mess things are on that side of hip-hop that I don't think any of us even want to be close to, all came from rap's least favorite basement dweller in Drake-Akademiks. And now as he had to jump in this thing, we really learned a lot about where Ak is going now, as after Ak really jumped in this entire beef just to be nasty and petty to SZA because they have had some issues for quite some time, and the only reason why their beef ever stopped in 2023 was because Drake personally reached out to him and told him to just stop talking to her like that. And of course, this was when Drake and SZA made a few songs together, so it did seem like they were on speaking terms. Well, now fast forward to the present, and of course SZA and Drake are not good. Ak just kept bothering her over and over again, and now as a result of DJ Akademiks doing what he does best, which is just annoy people in the most disrespectful and baffling ways possible for somebody of his stature. Well, to rightfully check him, Punch called him out and accused Ak of having Drake run his social media pages and write the nasty captions that he grifts with, and with this, seemingly with what Punch said, he really managed to hit a nerve with Ak that bothered him so much, and what ended up happening ultimately was just the biggest indicator that things with DJ Akademiks and also Drake have never been worse. And we really found out how bad all of this was as when Ak finally left his basement and took a little break from being the most annoying guy you know, even while taking a break from doing the annoying streams where he is just causing problem after problem. He was so angry that he jumped off his keyboard once again and had to do a special live to set some things straight. And now with what Ak revealed in this charged up crash out was not more of his DoorDash orders or anything like that, but it is that he is done with Drake, and seemingly with where things have went with them for the worse, but for all of us for the better, is that after a pretty heated disagreement, they are not working as closely together as we once saw when their entire messages and communications got exposed in the first place. And Ak just came out and straight up told us why this all is, which is pretty much because the lame old Lawbury loving Karen in Drake pretty much just came out at Ak and tried to scold him over the interaction he had with Dave Free and Anthony Salah when he went to Kendrick Lamar's GNX show. And now I'm just gonna tell you straight up what happens, because Akademiks is yelling way too much to even listen to this thing. And then of itself, and you can just see in his mannerisms, this does show how mad he is at Drake, which at the end of the day is all over how Drake was trying to insult Ak over what went down with the people that he does not like, and has created more and more of a mess with ever since the beef. And what Drake said to Ak is that he was scared of Kendrick Lamar's team, and now with this, well, even when you see now the way Ak is moving and how he is just openly talking about this after pretty much doing anything Drake said and never complaining about it for over a year. Well, now, as hip-hop's first and only DoorDash Hall of Famer straight up said that he told Drake, and I quote, "Drake, I pulled up, are you going to pull up?" And then Ak doubled and tripled down on this. Well, we are all seeing that Ak finally got the courage to push back on the guy he has done the most for and has gotten the least back from, as now what Ak ended up telling Drake is that he should have went to the shows to talk to them if he cared this much, and that if he was any tougher than Ak, he just would have. And now, as Ak literally told Drake straight up, and again, this is another quote, "They are coming to your city to call you that thing, are you going to pull up?" Well, for Drake, at this point, now that we are seeing that you have gotten ethered by DJ Akademiks, you gotta go. You gotta retire. Because for DJ Akademiks, of all people, to put you in your place and just be so open about how he did this after everything that had been happening between them, well, really, now what we are seeing is that the people are so tired of being around Drake and dealing with all the ridiculous stuff that he just never stops making worse and worse. Because seriously, for Ak to say that they call him the softest person in the game, yet he will even show his face in a space where his rivals all are, and then he just points out how Drake didn't, so he can't say anything about what he did. Well, now Ak is really saying that he is tougher than Drake, and now everybody is hearing about how soft the guy is, straight from the guy who has been his biggest defender all along. And of course, this is just not a good look. And for anybody who was trying to say that Drake was back on top, I think this just makes your guy look more pathetic than you could have ever imagined. And now what I find most shocking about this is now that Akademiks has fully joined the group of people who have turned on Drake and who have just called him out for acting like a straight up horrible person. Really, now to just see the biggest stan and guy who has done so much to try and help and really save Drake's career just come out and say this? Well, now in this time where we are seeing hip hop fall apart to be put back together, what we can say is now with one of these last things that was holding up the Drake House of Lies and that was giving these sad crash outs a consistent voice to gather all of their anger and delusion around. Well, now while Ak is still saying that he likes the Drake music, which I guess he's consistent with that, and he just does have a trash ear for good hip hop, in terms of being friends with Drake and respecting him, he seems to just be absolutely tired of him trying to push him around and just all of the antics that come with being Drake's pretty much media puppet for this long. And again, now that Akademiks has asserted his dominance over Drake and he has said that he is tougher than lame old loser Lawbry, and everybody can see why, as again, Akademiks did literally go to the shows that Kendrick Lamar was performing in and Drake just ran away and hid out from them. Well, I never thought I would say this, and I honestly want to just burst into laughter, but Akademiks can stand on his words against Drake and just hold up the fact that he is tougher than the guy, which is something that is just absolutely mind-boggling. And if you told somebody just a few years ago that this is where we would get at in hip-hop and with these crash outs, I don't think they would have ever believed you. And now ultimately, as now Akademiks is exposing himself that the entire identity that Drake had left has been built on a house of lies, and just by making empty promises and never holding up to them, and now Drake has literally gotten ethered by the DoorDash Hall of Famer himself. This is just the funniest thing that could possibly happen, because now in a time where Drake is trying to take hip-hop back and compete with people like Kendrick Lamar and Pusha T, or even just top-tier people in other crafts like LeBron James, well, now just to have the basement dweller, who has honestly done more than you have to make sure that your fan base stays together, because ever since the beef ended, Ak has just been leading the crew of what turned into Drake cheerleaders, and just the whole crowd who actually believes that Drake was set up by the industry as well. I mean, for Drake, this loss is monumental, because seriously, he can't even try to talk to anybody now, because if Ak has flipped on him and just called him out for being soft, what are you gonna say? And now seriously, you are still on Drake's side after a rap renaissance looks like it's about to start, and so much is going on that is showing how much better hip-hop is without him in the lead. Well, now, even with Akademiks being yelled at by Drake, and then Ak ultimately turning on Drake and not sticking with all of the ridiculous stuff he has had to endure, which really does feel like it was written straight in a film, Well, now pretty much with the villain's sidekick turning on him, because that's what this is. The biggest Drake stan and leader of the people who have continued to help him is now just off of it. We are seeing not just the biggest and most obvious proof that Drake was never set up by the industry at all, but he is just a straight up bad person who ends up making even his friends not like him, and that's why he has been in so much trouble. Well, even beyond that and even worse, with Ak being gone and the circle we know as lame old Lawbry-loving Team Drake getting even smaller. Listen, it doesn't even matter what other cloud chasers still hang out around him, because no matter what you want to say about Ak, well, over everybody else, Ak and his people have been out there every day making sure that Drake stays as the most annoying presence in hip-hop that we could possibly have, and just nobody else is gonna do that. So really, we are now in a time where more classic moments and songs and albums from great rappers seem like they are coming, and Drake is just struggling altogether. To have a breakup with Akademiks is about the worst thing that could have happened, and it's only gonna make everything get a lot worse for Drake, because unless there is anything Drake can do to win Ak back over and get him to do whatever he wants, the narratives are going to turn on Drake even more within a way this time, where his fans are going to be absolutely lost, because no longer will they have one of the leaders of the whole movement that has been going on to split hip-hop up altogether, create that divide further and further. And really, so overall, as we are now in a point with this entire moment in time in hip-hop where now the Clips is out winning over everybody like Lil Wayne, Justin Bieber, and Travis Scott, and now Tyler, the Creator, may have another classic coming, and well, Kendrick Lamar is Kendrick Lamar. And then now on the other side, we are seeing Drake still miss, and despite what his fans want you to think, Akademiks has been the most important person in Drake's entire circle. Just call him soft and tell him to stop pushing him around. I mean, this is a monumental fall-off and disagreement, and really, after Drake is rewarded and ran out to every other streamer and clout chaser over Ak, all the way to the point where it seemed like Drake was trying to just get in Ak's head and create a dynamic between them that was weirder than ever. Well, good job on Ak's part for standing up for himself and letting Drake know that he is softer than he will ever be. And now for Drake to just get clowned up and down by a keyboard warrior, DoorDash, and Hall of Famer like this. Well, once again, as we are in a phase in hip-hop where it feels like so much is turning and changing, and we are really rolling into the next era for the better. Well, the rapper and puppet whose partnership held this genre back the most, just seeing this drama and separation is very telling of where this is all gonna go. Well, as this all started and came up because of Nicki's crash out altogether, what we are starting to find out really with all of this is that with all of these people on this side of hip-hop just continuing to have their legendary fall-offs, well, it's not even just the winning that the other side is doing, but all of these losers are ending their own careers in a way that we have never seen anything else like. And truly with this, it really just makes you wonder, what could these people possibly be thinking? Because with every single thing that they do, they just manage to disgrace themselves more and more. As of now, with all of this said, let me know. What do you think about the Drake and Akademiks breakup? Who do you side with, and what do you think this is going to affect in terms of the narratives coming out in hip-hop and how Ak treats Drake overall going forward? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all this, and if you made it to this point in the video and are excited for a great day in rap music coming up, be sure to leave that like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now, speaking of great days in rap coming out, well, if you are ready to see now how Tyler, the Creator, is about to do something special, and Clips just had a huge, massive W as they just got a #1 album, and really with all of this, we are seeing something so big in rap form right before our own eyes, check out the suggested video.